There are 250 years of service and sacrifice by United States Marines. They truly believe that they stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. And we really want to make sure that these 3 coins fully tell that story in the best way possible. The reverse design for all 3 coins is the eagle globe and anchor that is known throughout the world as representative of the United States Marine Corps.
Probably the most challenging part of designing the reverse was finding a way to present the Marine insignia in a way that was different than had been done in past years. What better way to represent the Marine Corps than with their insignia?
It had to have a certain feel to it as well as the look, to get it exactly to the design and to get it to communicate the centuries of tradition behind it.
The gold obverse design features a Marine Corps color guard.
Probably the most interesting part of drawing this design was drawing the flags and the streamers with wind, showing the fabric movement, but yet not distorting it enough to hide any of the emblems or elements.
We're looking at a gold coin that's just under the same size of a dime. So there are certain aspects of when you go to sculpt at that relief, you have to accentuate certain things. Got the eagle globe and anchor in there. It was very well read at coin scale. That is without a doubt the most important part.
The silver obverse features a depiction of the flag raising at Iwo Jima.
The U.S. Marine Corps, of course, always is very inspired by the famous photograph of the men raising the flag on Iwo Jima. It was a very tall flagpole that they were raising, and we wanted to have the men fill as much of the coin as we could. So we did have to modify that a little bit and play with the flagpole and the shape of the flag.
It was a challenge to sculpt, capturing all the debris that the soldiers had to wade through because of the realism conveyed in the design.
The clad obverse design features a Continental Marine and a modern United States Marine.
I enjoy digging into the details, and not only the design that's very detailed, but also in some of the research of the equipment and so on and so forth. The viewer is going to use, typically an arm's length away to be able to view the subject, and those details have to come through at that scale.
As we look forward to America's semi-quincentennial, it's important to look back at those who served from America's earliest days.
Well, it was a great honor to work on this iconic design because it means so much to the Marines.
I hope that the American people as well, through this series, will once again honor those people who have given their lives and sacrificed so much to protect and serve our nation.
I think the core values that are on there says it all. The honor, the courage, the commitment.
I've got many friends who are Marines. There's no such thing as a "were Marine." It's a lifetime commitment.
We're protected by some of the most amazing Marines and former Marines.
I hope the public gets a feeling of pride that the Marines have in their unit and also in themselves, and that they preserve their heritage and their history. That service, past and present, is worthy of honor and commemoration.